Aloha, Brad. Halaka from Kauai Girl Soap. Kilakina, Chris.
Hi, aloha.
Today we're making Kekaha Lovespell soap. This is a 3-part soap with a chopstick swirl and some ice cream swirls on top. Pretty complicated little soap, and it takes quite a bit of doing to get ready for it, so let's dig in. Okay, so we use distilled water, and so we'll put distilled water with our lye, and then we're going to pre-measure out all of our colors and all of our ingredients and our 3 parts and get it all ready. So we'll set the camera in to fast forward, and we'll get all of these things ready to go. You always need protection from the lye. It really can burn. You get it just a drop on your skin when you're working and you'll know it. And your safety goggles. And here we go. This is crazy stuff to mix up, and it fumes and it can hurt you, so I always go outside. "188 degrees. Whoa, that heats right up. We're going to measure out excuse me, 2 ounces of our titanium dioxide mix. If you don't know how to mix this, watch one of my other videos on how I make this formula for coloring with white. Now we're going to measure out all of the hard oils. That would be palm oils and coconut oil and cocoa butter and every oil that is congealed at room temperature. That would even be, if you're doing traditional soap, that would even be your lard. And we don't use lard in our soaps. We do make a lard soap, but it's just an old traditional pioneer soap. Anyway, we mix out these hard oils, palm and coconut and cocoa butter and all of those, and then throw them in the microwave for a couple of minutes and get them to start to melt down. I don't melt them down all the way. I just melt them down until they're very soft and turn in liquid. Then I take the stick blender and blend them up real well and get them ready so that I can add the soft oils to it. When I measure out the soft oils, and those soft oils are olive oil, sunflower oil, sweet almond oil, soybean, hemp, all of your liquid oils at room temperature. We get those measured out, and then we'll put them in the big pan together and mix them all together before we add the lye to them. Now I'm going to hold out an ounce of, 2 ounces of oil actually, in 2 cups, so 1 ounce in each cup. This is our liquid oils that I'm going to hold out, and I'm going to mix the colored mica in with these. It'll help me when I'm coloring the batches, and it'll also be the last oil that doesn't get totally used up by the lye, because the first oil will be used by the lye. So this will be the SuperFat oil, which is good for your skin. So this is the high quality stuff. This is the sunflower oil, the almond oil, sweet almond oil, and the olive oil. Now these little solo cups are great for this, but don't use your essential oils, your fragrance oils in them. You'll pay. It melts right down, and you'll have it all over your kitchen table. This is a hot pink and rose mica. And this is a blue-green mica, and it has iridescence in it. You can see that. Ooh, shiny, yes. And the cheapest stir sticks in the world, I think, chopsticks. And we pre-measure the essential oils in the scent in little shot glasses, Hawaiian shot glasses. So the hard oils, I've melted them down. We're going to mix the hard oils in the pan. And we're going to mix the room temperature liquid oils in with those. And we're going to check temperatures because we want to make sure that we're about 100 degrees each. That's 125 and the lye is 155. So we're going to let these cool down and then come back. So I've put the lye in a bowl of ice water to cool it down a little faster. It's now down to 128. I'll get it down to about 90. We like to have our lye solution and our oil solution within about 5 to 10 degrees of each other, and I like to have them below 100 degrees to do a 3-part operation. It gives you a lot more time to work with your product. Okay, so our oil is cooled down to 93 and our sodium hydroxide lye is down to 92, so they're right in the range where we're going to mix them. And I'm going to pour the lye into the oil. Make sure you have gloves and glasses on. And I just use that bowl as my hang on to it bowl. I've got a place to put my lye soaked spatula. Then we're going to mix it with the stick blender. And we're barely going to mix this up. We're just going to go to light trace so that we've got time to do this. Now, the reason we go to light trace like this, very, very light trace, is because the essential oil, the Lovespell fragrance, accelerates this mix very much. Now we're going to separate this into 3 containers, and we're going to put about 3.5 cups in the first 2 containers, and then we're going to put the rest for white. So now we've got 2 containers with 3.5 cups and 1 container with 4.5 cups. The container with 4.5 cups is going to be our white color because we use more white than we do blue and red. And so now we're going to take the white and we're going to fold it into the big one. Now, if you didn't catch this before, I have a video of how I make my titanium white solution for these things. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to take our mold and we're going to pour just 1/4 inch of this in the bottom of the mold. As a base layer. Okay, alright, now what we'll do is we'll put the rose colored mica in. And we're going to do our blue. Okay, now we're going to add the Lovespell scent. So, into the white goes the Lovespell. Yeah, it does a little bit. Into the rose goes the Lovespell. And into the blue. Okay, so now what we're going to do, we're just going to start. This is starting to get very, very thick. It's tracing very well. What we're going to do now is put we're going to do a freehand funnel swirl. And so we're going to put a little blue in. We're going to put red on top of it. And we'll put just a little bit of white in on that. And we'll do it again. More blue. These are our homemade soap molds. They make 2.5 inch wide by 3 inch tall by, we cut them 1 inch thick bars of soap. Those are kind of unique to us. I guess anybody could make that size soap mold and have that size soap. The lye changes the color of the blue. It gets really ugly looking, but it will come back. If you're making this at home and you see that the blue is really kind of gone military on you, it'll come back. It will come back as the lye burns out of the soap.
So pure.
As the soap cures, it turns blue again. By the way, when you're making your labels, I notice a lot of people put lye, sodium I notice they put lye on their label. When the saponification process is complete, there is no lye left in your soap. Lye is pretty rough, pretty harsh, and so when you're doing your labels, you don't have to put lye on your label because it's gone by the time your soap is cured. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to let this set just a little bit longer. We're going to let it gel up just a little bit harder. Okay, so now we're going to do a chopstick swirl through the soap, and we're just going to come in and go around it first, just to make sure that the colors on the edges are all mixed together. Then we're going to just go like this through the soap. We're going to go the other way from the other way. And we'll only do two. We'll only go through it twice. Otherwise it'll get too mixed up. Now we're going to shake out all the bubbles, and then we'll come back, and when the last part of the white is very, very thick, almost pipeable, if it gets thick enough I can put it in a piping bag, then we'll pipe the florets on. And go from there. Okay, so a little time has passed, and I've waited for the white to get very, very thick. You can see that it's very, very thick. Normally, there's two ways to do it. You can put the rest on and swirl up little ice cream swirls, or in the case that I'm going to do today, I'm going to put the white in a piping bag and pipe it on, because I'm faster that way. And we'll take some fine iridescence and put on the top of that. And there you have it. Kekaha Lovespell. Okay, so it's been about 48 hours and ready to unwrap it. Take it out of the mold. So we'll just take the side off. And we'll slide it out. Not want to slide out right now. Let's see if we can help it. Just a little bit. There it comes. So here's what it looks like coming out of the mold. We'll peel the plastic mold release off. And there it is. Out of the mold and ready to be cut. Let's go cut it. Okay, so first thing that we're going to do is we're going to cut this down just a hair because it doesn't fit in my little cutter the way that it is. The size. Buy a bigger cutter. I've got this little wooden machine. Look at that. Look at that beauty. And this will turn blue. This pink is all pink right now, but when the lye dissolves into the oil, it will go blue. The blue mica will become blue again. So if you make this at home, don't fret when you see that color that it's all pink, because the blue, you can see that it's kind of a grayish looking. It will turn blue. Look at that beauty. And there you have it. Then we put them in the drying rack. And 6 weeks later, they'll be ready to grace someone's bath. Samples. We use the leftover pieces as samples. Lucky people get to have a sample free. All right. There it is. Kauai Girl Soaps, Kekaha Lovespell. 3-part gorgeous soap. Smells wonderful. Mahalo for watch. I'm Palaka. Subscribe to our channel. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram. And I hope you loved it. Aloha. Hey, it's over. Well, except for washing the dishes. Go do something else. Watch the next video. Aloha.